Hi, and welcome back to Animals 2 by 2. Today is day 4 of our 5-day lesson on goldfish. And now, you have been listening in on the last 3 lessons where we just really got our basics about goldfish and guppies, what they need to survive, and their body parts. Some of those objectives that you should have already learned at this point, you should be able to identify that fish have identifiable structures, that fish have basic needs, and they can change their environment. You should also be making observations of the natural world and know that they're descriptors collected using those 5 senses. I hope you guys are developing a growing curiosity and interest about the living world around you. And I hope that you know that animals come in many sizes and live in many different places. You should be able to recognize that you can learn about animals by looking at them closely. That goes back to those 5 senses we were talking about. And by the end of the week, tomorrow, I hope that you're able to raise questions about the natural world using appropriate reference material and support your understanding and obtain the information, identifying the source, and just be looking through, seeing what you can observe with your sense of sight, sense of hearing, and learn about the creatures and world around us. Okay, so what you're going to need today is you're going to need your paper handout that you received on Monday. That's going to be page 9. Your pencils and crayons. You can have an extra sheet of paper, or if you don't have that handout, just a clean sheet of paper where you can take notes and really draw um, pictures to remind you of what's going on. And then tomorrow we're going to look at that book 2 by 2. Okay, so we had some vocabulary words that we have looked out throughout the week, and a few that we're going to be learning today. So let's begin with goldfish. Goldfish is a usually small golden yellow or orange fish, often kept in aquariums or ponds. Guppies are small tropical fish, often kept in an aquarium. An aquarium is a container, as in a tank or a bowl, in which fish and other water animals and plants can live. A fin, which is a thin, flat body, part of a fish and certain other water animals, which is used for swimming and balance. The fish's fins can help it travel through the water. A tail, which is the rear part of an animal, or usually a slender, flexible growth that extends from the back part of their body. Gills, an organ, as in a fish organ, to take in oxygen from the water. Now, those things, remember, we did draw back on one of those handouts and we colored and wrote about them. So I hope that really stuck with you. Today, we're going to be looking at behavior, the whole activity of something, especially a living being. Scientists observe the fish's behavior, and that's what you guys are going to be today. You're going to be scientists observing fish's behavior. Identifiable, that's a word that we've used throughout this week's lesson and last week's lessons, and that just means capable of being identified. Unique, some of the fish that we see are unique. That means very unusual. Goldfish. So we've been looking at these goldfish all week so far, and I want you to really be thinking about the behavior of goldfish. I know we think about behavior with people and animals like dogs and cats and horses, and a lot of people don't think about goldfish actually having specific behavior, but they do. All animals do. So, fish behavior can be influenced by conditions in the environment. They have senses to help them detect objects in their environment. So while they may not be as complex as some animals, they do have specific behaviors that you need to be looking out for. Okay, wouldn't it be amazing if you could get to know your goldfish better? It's normal to see your goldfish swim and play and explore during the day and sleep at night. Wait, do fish sleep? Yes, but because they have no eyelids, they can't close their eyes like we do. Wow, so your goldfish sleeps with his eyes open. Now we're going to take a look at some of these goldfish, and these are some of the fancier goldfish. And you have a typical kind and different um, types of goldfish in here. We're going to look as they swim. As you can notice, swimmers in it. Some are swimming up top, some are coming down lower, some are coming to looking like they're coming towards us, which means they're just coming to the aquarium. But all of that is part of their typical behavior. Goldfish are fairly social fish, and they're also credited with the ability to learn by association. Unless they're in competition with each other for food, even goldfish of different sizes and ages will rarely behave aggressively towards one another and will come to recognize the other fish in the tank over time. So look at these fish. Do you think they recognize one another? I feel like they do. Goldfish also become used to the presence of people that feed them and that they see every day. They will soon learn when feeding time is and that if someone approaches, they might be fed soon. Goldfish will often come to the top of the tank when someone approaches or follow the progression or progress of a hand moving on the other side of the glass. Goldfish love to dig about the substrate of the tank. That's the rocks or gravel or sand that belongs at the bottom of the tank. That's normal goldfish behavior and one that you'll be able to observe quite often. There are elements of both foraging for food scrapes and making their mark on the environment involved with this activity. And as grazing fish, goldfish do like to constantly have something to nibble on. Goldfish will also eat the plants within their tank, and this behavior can be viewed in the same way as another grazing animal, such as a horse or a cow, whose metabolism is constantly in motion. So it's normal if you see them nibbling or foraging around their tank. Like this one fish looks like he's getting that green plant there. Yeah, he was just nibbling on it. Goldfish are not always among the fastest moving fish, but occasionally they will show quite a turn of speed. Your goldfish are chasing each other around the tank. This is something that lead up to mating and generally not cause for concern. However, if your tank is overcrowded or your fish are in competition over food, your goldfish may become stressed and chase each other off in competition for those resources. Goldfish tend to use the full depth of their tank from the top to the bottom, unlike some species that are generally show a marked preference for a certain area of the tank. However, goldfish will congregate near the top of the tank if they are expecting food or if the oxygen levels are low in the tank. If your fish are gulping for air at the surface of the tank or are regularly breaking the surface of the water, check your water quality and aeration for any problems. So, look at this tank. Where are those fish swimming? Looks like all over. Some go to the top and they go to the bottom, side to side. They're moving all over the tank. Look. What happens to the behavior if you added a new object into the aquarium? So if we added a new plant or house or some decorations, do you think that they would go to it and explore it? Do you think they would act like nothing happened? Pause and think about that for a minute. Well, a lot of times they'll be curious but scared and they will not interact with the new item right away. Goldfish do need to get accustomed to the things that are being placed in their tank. Okay, now, as I said before, I want you guys to complete that page 9. Just draw me a little picture, write a few sentences about what you learned about fish behavior, and then share it with a friend or family member and let them see what awesome work you've done. Tomorrow, we're going to continue on with lesson 5 where we'll compare guppies and goldfish. Hope to see you soon. Bye.